Another day, another team. We're with the Philadelphia Eagles today. Let's just hit it off with the quarterback as we have been doing. Jalen Hurts. Pop over to the tier list. Slide him right up there under Josh Allen, above Tua. I mean, you really got a game plan around him. He can hurt you with his legs. I mean, the stats didn't look great last year, but we know we can. We all saw him in the Super Bowl. He played great in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I mean, he can run. Where's his rushing stats? Down here. He can run. He can pass. 15 rushing touchdowns last year as a quarterback. That is the record. I remember because a couple years ago, Kyler was almost close, and they said the record was 14 then. So if he has 15, either they were wrong then, or this is a record for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a season. So Jalen Hurts, I think that's a fine spot for him. Kenny Pickett, he started in the NFL the last couple of years. He was a first-round pick. That's a good backup quarterback. Tanner McKee, the Stanford product. I expected him to get drafted a lot higher than this, but to actually get playtime somewhere. But no, has he ever even thrown a pass in the NFL? No. But third string, and Will Greer, who is still around. Not exactly the best. He's pretty good at West Virginia. Except in the third round. Saquon, little washed in my opinion. Last year wasn't horrible, but 3.9 yards per attempt. I mean, he's 27. I don't expect him to be, around as a starter in the league for much longer. Maybe like 2 or 3 years as a starter in the NFL. Kenneth Gainwell. I like Kenneth Gainwell because before he got drafted, someone had mocked him to the Seahawks, and he responded. He was like, "Come get me, Seattle." So he wanted to be a Seahawk. So I like him. He's a pretty good backup, especially for a fifth-round pick. You can use him in a passing and a run game. Really all over the place. And I have Will Shipley. Is that the guy from Texas? No, Clemson. I knew it was orange. The other two Shipleys went to Texas. Jackson Shipley and the other one, I forgot his name. But third string running back, you could get some time. Lou Nichols. You go to Georgia? Central Michigan. I don't know why I thought he went to Georgia. But anyway, receiver A.J. Brown, top 10 receiver. Devontae Smith, top 25 receiver. Paris Campbell, he's just really fast. Hasn't really done a ton. 5.2 yards per catch is actually like atrocious. I don't know how that happens. Are you only giving him like screen passes? That is actually I don't know how that happens. 5.2 yards per catch. Anais Smith, Texas A&M product. Big fan of him. Just drafted. Had some injuries in college, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he'll be pretty good. John Ross, who came out of retirement to join the team. I mean, we know John Ross, very fast. He had that one game against the Seahawks in 2019 where he went crazy. He probably had like Well, not his complete career stats, are they? He has more than 62 career catches. I refuse to believe John Ross has less than 1,000 cumulative yards. John, so John Ross had he had 25% of these yards in one game. Right, it was 2019 or 2018 when he had 158 yards and 2 touchdowns in one game, and then the rest of his career only scored 9 other touchdowns and 800 other yards. So that's fun. Britton Covey, see, he's new, right? It's his 3rd season. He's young. They have him returning. I'm pretty sure they had him returning kicks last year. Yeah, they're gonna have him returning kicks again. Don't really know anything about any of these other guys. Johnny Wilson though sounds familiar. He's a rookie. Dallas Goedert, one of the better tight ends. This has got to be a rookie because, he's the number 2 tight end, but he has 9 career receptions in 2 years. So I'm not faulting myself for not knowing who that is. I know C.J. Uzomah, obviously. He's big on the Jets and Bengals for a little bit. And Albert Aquabugum is still in the league. Big draft bust. 4th. I don't know why I thought he was picked higher than that. But yeah, he wasn't very good. Jordan Mailata is good. Landon Dickerson is good. Cam Jurgens is good. Tyler Steen, don't know a ton about him, but looks to be in a second year. Let's see. Did he start at all last year? He started a game. A younger guy. Obviously, you have Cam Jurgens is replacing Jason Kelce. But Jason Kelce had a hand in scouting, and then he picked him to be his replacement. Mekhi Becton, who I heard threw up 11 times after their first practice. Looks like they're moving him to guard. Which, he is listed as guard on here. He's just a really big dude, but he hasn't really been able to stay healthy at all. He was the 1st round pick. He is huge. He's a behemoth. But look, out of a possible 48 games. No, because there was 70. For a possible 50 games he could have played in his career, he's only played 31. And he hasn't been really great when he's played either. Lane Johnson, we know about Lane Johnson. He's been doing this thing for a while. Milton Williams. Don't know who that is, but it looks like he had half a sack last year. Jordan Davis, again, another just humongous person. 6'6", 340. I thought he was going to be very good, but, you haven't really heard a ton about him. And that could be because he's next to Jalen Carter, who you do hear a lot about, because Jalen Carter is very good. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. Bryce Huff, solid. 10 sacks last year. They got they've lost a lot of people over the years, but their line is still very good. Josh Sweat, still good. Brandon Graham, old, still pretty good. Akwara, This isn't the Lions. This is a different Aquara. Yeah, because one of Romeo Aquara had like a 8-sack season once, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the 10 he's had a couple decent seasons. Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean, I thought was no, not Nakobe Dean, the other one. Nolan Smith. I thought Nolan Smith was gonna be incredible. He's just okay as of right now. Zach Bond. He's okay. Nothing crazy. Devin White, he's getting up there. I don't know why it seems like he's been in the league. He's going in his 6th year. Came in the league young, looks like. But I don't know, it just seems like at the beginning of his career you're hearing about him all the time, and you just really haven't been hearing about him as much. But I mean, from the looks of things, he's still pretty solid. Still pretty good. We talked about Nolan Smith. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I mocked him to Seattle and drafted a linebacker for Notre Dame. Okay, he actually went to Clemson. There was one. What was the Notre Dame linebacker that I projected in Seattle? I don't remember. Quinyon Mitchell, high pick. Keith Ringo. He's a player. Could have gone a lot higher than the 4th round. Could have gone as early as the 1st round, I thought. But fell to the 4th. And he's not the greatest in coverage, but he's still young. Where are we? C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Not as good as he once was, but he's still okay. Talks a lot on Twitter. Blankenship, white safety from Middle Tennessee State. You know what? He's actually pretty good. James Bradbury, who is burnt toast. He's not good. He was good a couple years ago. Darius Slay, who is still really good, but he's just not a cool person. Avonte Maddox, fine. Cooper DeJean, took him 2nd round. Could have gone in the 1st. No. Excited to see what he can do. And white cornerback, you don't get too many of those. Jake Elliott, one of the best kickers, very underrated. Probably the greatest kick I've ever seen is that one against Buffalo in the rain. It was like 60 yards. Well, it was game tying. One game winner. Yeah, this is probably the greatest kick I've ever seen. I mean, he just drilled it. It doesn't look like the weather's that bad, but it was like very windy and very cold this day. And Jalen Hurts just actually could not care less on the sideline about this kick. Yeah, this guy's got a whole 3-minute video about how this is the greatest field goal of all time. It is. It might be the best I've ever seen. Braden Mann, solid. We talked about Braden Covey returning kicks. Kenny Pickett's on here. Serviceable. He's not gonna play, so I'm just gonna take the backups off. They're not gonna play. Darnold and McCarthy are on there because we don't really know which one's gonna play yet, so that's why they're both on there. But set over the record, they actually have a very easy start to the season. These are 3 games. We talked about this game in the Packers episode. I'm not gonna talk about it more. These are 3 games they should win right off the bat. Then they go into the bye week. Coming off the bye week, they go against the Browns. This is going to be a good game. Give it to the Eagles. They're coming off the bye week. Deshaun Watson just isn't very good. Oh, what I have to say about them? Should beat the Giants. I think the Bengals will take this one. Should beat the Jaguars. Probably split the season with Dallas. That's just how it goes with those things. And at this point, they're 8-1. And I'm gonna give it to the Commanders because the Commanders just find a way to beat good teams in the middle of the season. Like they beat the Steelers when the Steelers were like 13-0. They beat the Eagles when the Eagles were like 9-0. They just find a way sometimes, and it can happen again against the Rams. Coming off the mini bye, giving it to the Eagles. Against the Ravens, giving us one of the Ravens. I mean, easy win against the Panthers. Beat the Steelers. Gonna beat the Commanders this time, and finish off with the win against the Giants. It's gonna put them at 13-4 on the season. For us in the division so far, pretty freaking good. It's a pretty good record. That's about it for the Eagles.